Hello, hello, hello. Maybe I was gonna say, can you guys hear me? Hey, Paul, how are you doing today? Can you hear me? Hi, Eddie. Okay. Somehow I got both of us up here, but then they disappeared, so I don't know if you guys. Okay, good deal. Then I'll just run with it. Welcome to the Saturday Stroll. Um, we will have a half an hour live stream and then hi Najuma. And then we will have three premieres tonight. We have Mexico Living the Dream, um, doing a Celebrity Edge 4K drone tour, I guess you could call it. And then we have J&N Travels with the Carnival Venetia. Am I saying that right? I, I don't know. So what I'm sure Eddie probably knows that if I'm pronouncing that right. Anyways, that one looks like it is day 10 and it's a day at sea, so we're gonna see like what they ate and how they spent their time on that. And then Eddie Lugo Studios is coming in with a ferry into Galveston Island. Heading Venetia. Hi, Robin and Marty. So it doesn't actually sound like it has any Z in it. How bizarre. Anyway. And then Eddie is taking the ferry into Galveston Island, um, getting ready to head out on their next slash last cruise. And just in case anyone is lurking in the shadows, if you would like to join us with videos on either Friday for the raid parade or Saturday for the Saturday stroll, hop over, like take X out of chat and go to my about page, click into about wherever that is. They've moved it around lately. And choose the admin form and request a raid parade or Saturday stroll invite. And I have a phone going off. So let me just put that on Do Not Disturb real quick. Oh, it's actually the reminder telling me that it's time to go live. There we go. Okay, so that is how to join us if you would like to join us. And then how do I get this down? There we go. Hi, guys. Oh, it seems like so much has happened since the last time I was live. We've gotten a new car. We've gotten a new water heater. That was a trip and a half. It got really warm, and then we have snow on the ground again. Such a strange weather pattern lately. And oddly enough, we're actually due to get back up into the 50s and 60s within the next week and a half. So, what are you guys up to? Hola, mi what? ¿Cómo estás? Please don't answer that in Spanish. My Spanish is not great. My French is better. Oh, waking up from a nap sounds nice. I don't nap much. I just sleep really, really late. Bonjour. Ça va? Bien, et tu? Shoot, is that French or Spanish? Oh my God, you guys are gonna. Okay, kill the foreign language because I don't. I'm gonna like be mixing them and yeah, no. Oh, babysitting sounds fun. I was gonna say, how old are the people you are babysitting? Mercy buckets? Is that some sort of a typo? Um, I don't know if we'd found the oil leak on the car the last time I was on here. Anyway, I do have a couple things that need worked on the car, but it is clean now. No inappropriate messages written in whiteout on it anyway. How fun. I was gonna say, I kind of have the whole baby fever thing, but I'm not ready for my kids to have kids yet either. So I'm kind of in that limbo zone. Yeah, I'm assuming that was probably supposed to be merci beaucoup, but uh I don't is anybody ever ready when they're like finding out they're gonna be a grandparent? Like, what is that like? Because like it's not like my oldest isn't old enough. Like, well, he's 20, so he's actually older than I was when I found out I was pregnant. With him, because I found out I was pregnant a week before I turned 20. Anyway, I hope that's the way I will be. I'm sure that's not how my parents react, but I can't really blame them. I had worked with mom on candles all day that day and couldn't figure out a good time to tell her. And so we were getting about done and she needed to run into town for something. And I left her a note with a grandma's kitchen candle and said we needed to change the name because it didn't smell like her kitchen. And then I left. So I wasn't even there when she got back. And I just left it in the front hallway. 3. How many kids do you have, Eddie? Actually, Najuma, I'm not sure how I know how many kids you have either. Two that you know. Okay. Two that claim you. Oh dear. Oh. I was gonna say, Robin, I know you guys are not traveling with kids, I don't think, but do you have kids? And I was gonna say, if any of you don't know, I've got 2 kids. I've got my oldest is 20. He'll be 21 this year, towards the end of the year. And then my youngest will be 18 in April. Her birthday is 6 days after mine. No kids. Okay. Oldest, your daughter's in New York with the 3 and a son in Baltimore with no kids yet. Baltimore is Maryland? Three daughters, 40, 38, and 27, and 11 between them. Oh, wow. And see, I'm 40 right now for the moment. It's not that long until my birthday's coming up in April. Oh, yes. In terms of the fur children, I have 3. Charlie. Where is Charlie? I want to say he's 11. He'll come tell me if I'm wrong. I think he turned 11 in September. If not, he turned 10 in September. And then we've got Hyde, who is our husky. Oh, Charlie's a cat. And then so Hyde's our husky, and he was 3 when we got him, 18 months ago ish. We got him in May. His previous owners were in a situation where they had to move and they couldn't find a place to rent that would accept a husky. So the kid's dad was dog sitting, and he just kind of claimed our son. He's my oldest, he's not his oldest, if that makes sense. And then little bit is over there napping. No, you're not going to be able to see her. It just looks green out there. Anyway, she'll be 2 in June, actually. I'm a youngin' because I'm only 40. If it makes you feel any better, Paul, when I was 16, my dad said I felt like I was 60. When I could loan him arthritis medication in the correct dosage. Oh, wow, happy birthday. Not that she's watching it, but you know. Lily. That's a pretty name. That's actually my brother's dog's name. I'm not sure how they came up with the Lily name. She's an all black dog. So how long have you guys been in Mexico? Looking at your channel one time, I was thinking that you haven't always been in Mexico. Am I correct in thinking that? Pebbles and pickles, huh? 7 years. So you know Mexico pretty well then. Miss Alice has a rescue Eddie. Oh, yeah, and with that, we'll go over the lineup again. So up first we have Mexico Living the Dream at the top of the hour. J&N Travels with the Carnival Venecia. Day 10, which was a sea day, and then Eddie and Miss Alice are going on the ferry into Galveston Island. Okay. Give me the pronunciation on the CIA part. Is it Sia? Is it Zia? Is it... That's where Yeah. They couldn't just name it something simple like Venice, right? Like, okay, SIA has the same problems that CIA does. I lasted, very little time working on Italian because I got sick again. I think I'd probably been working on Italian for a couple of months when I caught the crud the second time. Okay, so Venetia, is that right? Venetia? And then he's just, okay, we'll just stick all the different letters that could make that sound in front. Thanks, Eddie. Ooh, lasagna sounds really good. I'm just realizing that I stuck the leftover Salisbury steak in the oven like an hour and a half ago and forgot about it. But the house smells good. And it's only at like 200 degrees, so it's not like it's even really going to be burnt or too dry or anything. So that's good. Yeah, I know, right? I was trying to plan ahead, and instead I wound up eating summer sausage and cheese. um, yeah, you would think I should have at least known that one, but yeah, no. Yeah, well, it's Salisbury steak, Eddie, so it's not like normal steak, like it's just compressed patties of something. Um, I should probably check the fridges for steak and make sure that my son didn't get some out to thaw, because he had pulled some to the top of the freezer because he wanted steak. But I think he made burgers instead. I should really check that. Yeah, I made. Well, okay, so see, yes, steak. Like, well, Salisbury steaks, like the weird patties and gravy. Um, which happens to be cheap at Aldi's through Instacart. It was like $3.45 for what's supposed to be 6 portions. Which I had planned to eat over the over the course of 3 to 4 days. Um, but I didn't get the other stuff made to go with it, so I ate 3 of them yesterday for supper, and I'll probably eat the other 3 today. And then I really need to finish dishes so I can get the corn chowder made in the Instant Pot. Now, see, the whole I'm hungry now is why I ate the also leftover summer sausage with cheese. Basically, the kids the kids go week on week off to their dads, and basically the way that works is when they leave Friday night, I look at the refrigerators and I say, okay, what's the oldest leftovers? And that's what I eat. And then I basically typically the next 2 to 3 days, like by the end of the weekend, typically I've eaten all of the leftovers. And then I like make a big batch of something like corn chowder or I don't know. And and then that gets portioned out and I eat some and freeze some. The freezing thing's more of a leftover issue than or a histamine issue than anything. Corn chowder is actually pretty easy in a pot too if you don't have histamine issues. I do it in the Instant Pot so I can pressurize the potatoes to reduce the lectin load so my mast cells don't break down and cause histamine problems. And I actually have bone broth frozen, and my son, every time we have to dig for something in the freezer, he keeps calling them meat muffins. Because after I drained it, like, I took and portioned it out in silicone muffin cup thingies, and I'm like, that's going to be really hard to clean, so I lined them with regular muffin liners, so they look like muffins. Yeah. But the thought process was good. Like, the thought process was, okay, the kids don't like stuff like beef and noodles or stew or, stuff like that. Or like they like chicken pot pie, but like not more of like the shepherd's pie type stuff. So the thought was, okay, if I portion it out into like one or two, I could take one or two at a time, make smaller. It doesn't work. I don't do any of that. So, so yeah, as long as they don't decide they're going to thaw out a muffin and eat it, because I do also occasionally make them 6-week muffins, which is made with Raisin Bran. And I do freeze them because it makes so many. They're somewhere. But I think the last one I saw was the one that was shaped like skulls and doesn't really hold a whole lot. I do have chicken in the freezer. I could do chicken pot pie this week. But then, see, they'd be mad if they found out I had chicken pot pie. This is my dilemma. Like, they don't think I should eat while they're gone. Or at least not anything that they would like to eat. A lot of times I'll wind up doing like taco meat and doing tacos. And I think the ice cube trays would probably be about the same as the silicone muffin things, because it's that I just don't use it. Honestly, I could heat it up and drink it and it would be perfectly fine. And I've got gluten-free pasta here, so that would be fine too. I don't know. Anyway, I'm not great with remembering to eat. Like, I have alarms set to remind me to fix something. And that's probably just as big of a problem, because if you don't remember to eat, then you are like shaky and dizzy when you're trying to figure out what to eat. But that's not great for actual cooking. I could do that. Corn chowder was one of those things I grew up with. And then I couldn't remember how Mom made it. Like, which I was vegetarian from about 14 to 19. Just a couple months before I found out I was pregnant. So it was one of those things, I wasn't making it. And it's like, but I'd seen her make it a bunch of times. And so, and then the kid's dad doesn't like any sort of potato soup. So after we split, then it was like, okay, well, over the years, it was like, that sounds really good. And I sat there and I tried different ways. Like, okay, did she use broth? What kind of broth? And I think she just actually used water most of the time. And typically leftover ham, which I did. Ham causes me heartburn, so I just go with beef summer sausage, not summer sausage. What's the smoked sausage? That's what I do. You guys have me wanting to make pot pie this week, though. That would be super yummy. And I could try out some different topping recipes. Yeah, the corn chowder is really super simple. I know I have a video on it on Going Green Mom, but it's just like a can of corn. Sometimes I dice up some onions, but I don't think that's really necessary. And then the sausage, potato, broth, and then after it gets done in the pressure cooker for like the potatoes are cubed, and then I just add some milk with some arrowroot powder for thickener when it gets done. So it's very quick too, which is nice. Okay, this is saying we have 4 minutes, so I'm going to do this one more time for anybody that may have come in and is lurking. Thank you for all of those that do come in and are lurking. Feel free to say hi. But first up at the top of the hour, we have Mexico Living the Dream with some celebrity edge drone footage. And I was totally serious. If you guys ever come out with a drone class, that looks like it would be really fun. Then we've got J&N Travels with the Carnival Benicia. Day 10, which was a sea day, and then Eddie Lugo Studios taking us on a ferry ride into Galveston Island. So that is what we have going on for tonight's raids. I don't know. I did something differently with the screens this weekend. I don't know what I did different. And I believe next week we will be at PSV Odyssey for the Saturday Stroll Live. Correct me if I'm wrong on that, Paul, but I'm pretty sure it's you next week, right? Yeah, corn chowder is one of those comfort foods for me. Like, it's just, I grew up on it, and so it's always been really good. And my kids turned out liking it. When they were little, they hated soup. Any sort of soup was an absolute no. And now they like zuppa toscana and corn chowder. We've tried a couple others that they didn't make it heavily into the rotation. Let's put it that way. But they eat them. So anyways, it is 6:59. So if you have not already, the link should be pinned at the top of chat to get into the playlist. And I'm going to go ahead and end the stream because I just got a pop-up saying that it is the battery is going to die. So I don't want to get stuck in here and have you guys stuck there. I will see you in chat in just a moment. And thank you for being here.